If you're looking for a great place for your annual golf outing, a weekend golf getaway, or just a round of golf with your buddies, then Salt Creek Golf Retreat is just what you're looking for. Centrally located in Nashville, Indiana, just south of Indianapolis and west of Cincinnati. This challenging but fair 18-hole golf course appeals to all skill levels, and its scenic views of rolling hills and tree-lined fairways are sure to make golfing memories for years to come. Owned and operated by former Purdue and New York Giants fullback Randy Manier, Salt Creek Golf Retreat offers stay-and-play packages that include golf and a fully furnished 1- or 2-bedroom condo. After your round, be sure to stop by the 19th Hole Sports Bar and Restaurant for great food, fun, and drinks. Randy and his staff will treat you like family. For more information, log on to saltcreekgolf.com. That's saltcreekgolf.com. Or give them a call at 812-558-5944. Salt Creek Golf Retreat. Start making your golfing memories today. Most folks are familiar with Dan Pastorini's accomplishments on the football field or in race cars. But what most don't know? Dan's family background in the restaurant business. For 37 years, Dan's parents, Dante and Dorothy, owned and operated Pastorini's Longhorn Restaurant. So the Pastorini family has a long history of making great tasting food from family recipes. Dan and his partners want to bring some of that to you with their Texas-style rub, Texas-style hickory rub, and their garlic and herb seasoning. First introduced back in 2011, Dan's Texas-style rub immediately began winning awards, taking home the first-place trophy for best ribs at the Pasadena Livestock Show and Barbecue Cook-Off. They did it again at the 2012 Texas Ranger Wounded Warrior Cook-Off, and the awards just keep on coming. Check out Dan's line of spices online at dpqualityfoods.com. That's dpqualityfoods.com. And take what you put on the grill to a whole new level.
Yeah, check them both out online at saltcreekgolf.com and dpqualityfoods.com. All right, now back with us and making his fourth appearance on Thursday Night Tailgate is former Cowboys running back Sherman Williams. Let me remind you about Sherman's background. He's from Mobile, Alabama. He attended Mattie T. Blunt High School, where as a senior, he became the first running back in high school history to rush for over 3,000 yards in a single season. He was named All-State, and he led his team to the 5A state title. Played his college ball at the University of Alabama, where he was a member of their 1992 national championship team. Became a starter in his junior year, and over the next 2 seasons, he rushed for just under 2,100 yards, including 1,341 as a senior, which was second best all-time when he left Alabama. It remains 11th best all-time to this day. He was drafted in the second round by the Dallas Cowboys in 1995, played in the league from 1995 to 99, all in Dallas. He was a member of the Cowboys Super Bowl 30 championship team. He's written an autobiography called Crimson Cowboy, The Rise and Fall of a Three-Time Champion, which is highly rated over on Amazon.com. He's written a second book in that series titled Crimson Cowboy, Peace Between the Lines, which we'll be talking about here in just a few minutes, and we're glad he is back with us tonight here on Thursday Night Tailgate. Hey, Sherman, Chris and Bob here. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Welcome back, Sherman.
Hey, Chris. Hi, Bob. How y'all doing? It's always a pleasure, man. It's a great thing to get on the radio and talk to you guys and tell y'all a little bit about what I have going on. I probably won't get a chance to say everything, but I hope to get a little bit across.
Absolutely. Let's start there, Sherman. Talk about your decision to write a second in the series of your books, Crimson Cowboy, and what our listeners will find when they pick up Peace Between the Lines.
Well, Peace Between the Lines is the second book of a 3-part series, and it's going to give you an idea of what it's like. It's courtroom drama, law and order type, give you an in-depth look at what exactly took place in the courtroom. It's a follow-up from my first volume, is Rise and Fall of a Three-Time Champion. And like you explained earlier, the 3-time champion is high school, national, and also a World Super Bowl with the Cowboys. So the first volume just gives you an interlude, a prelude into my life and what it was like coming up in the inner city, being a kid, having dreams and hopes and aspirations, and going and making it to the NFL, something that I dreamed about as a very young age. Was able to accomplish that goal, and then went off and went into the NFL, and then had some off-the-field issues, served jail time, went through a federal trial, which is the story needs to be told. So kids that come in a similar situation, they can learn from my mistakes. And I have a part of our organization, the Palmer Williams Group, and people can find more information about us on palmerwilliamsgroup.org. But I just wanted to let everyone know and get a general idea about a life of growing up, having a dream to play in the NFL. But then the book, The Peace Between the Lines. When you're talking about peace, you don't have to go around preaching and saying Jesus and doing all these things. I'm a believer. I have faith and believe in Jesus Christ, the message of Christ. But I just want people to see the miracle of Christ working through me in my situation, to be at the lowest of the low, being in a federal prison, in federal custody. You one step away from the graveyard. You out of sight, you're out of mind. And then to have the peace, that the faith of your belief in Christianity, in Christ, and having that belief system and being able to overcome that. And I just want everybody to get an illustration of what happened in the Volume 2, Peace Between the Lines, so they can see the testimony, because that's what it's about. It's the testimony of Christ coming to my life during a time where everything was dark, everything was gloomy, and Christ being the center and being the light of that situation.
And Sherman, you spend time talking to young men and kids. When you're in front of them and you're talking about the experiences that you've had and trying to teach them not to make the same mistakes you made, what message are you hoping that they walk away from any time that they get to spend with you?
One thing that I know, put your mind to it, and you have a goal, you set a goal, and you can achieve that goal, anything reasonable, and you can achieve it, but it's going to take hard work, discipline, dedication, and all the things that it takes to be successful. And, you just want those kids to understand that life goes on. You're going to make mistakes. No one is going to expect you to be perfect. You want to be good. You want to do your best, give it 110%. But sometimes you're going to make mistakes. And that's not the end of all. You can always overcome. I had to go through it. I overcame as a young person. As an adult, I overcame. So I'm still overcoming today. And I teach the kids about making choices. It's the choices that you make is going to determine the result. And that's what I want the kids to see. Making better choices is going to lead you down the right path. You make poor choices, then you're going to have to suffer consequences. It is a very simple equation. It's nothing hard. It's nothing that you have to go and get a real calculus situation. It's real simple. You make good choices. Surround yourself with good people. If you know someone is doing the wrong thing, just stay away from it. Good will come to you.
And Sherman, either of your former teams, has the University of Alabama or have the Cowboys or any of the teams reached out to you, or you've had an opportunity to come and talk to players at the college or the NFL level to share your experiences? Because I think you've got a good message that whether it's, freshmen coming in to play football at a college or the rookies coming into the league, you've got a good message that could help those guys stay away from the things that you had to deal with.
Yes, Chris, I do public speaking and motivational speaker. I go around to different colleges and universities. I haven't had a chance to break into the NFL yet, but that is something that my team, our group, we are definitely pushing to get involved in the NFL with the Rookie Symposium, to let those guys come in being drafted, number 1, number 2 picks in the draft, some of the things that to be aware of, because you go into the NFL, you come from a background where finances wasn't big in your community. Now you're blessed with so much wealth that sometimes it could be overwhelming. And some of those guys may get in a situation where they can't understand why they're going through what they're going through. And me, myself, and my partner, Mr. David Palmer, we could probably shed some light on what's going on or what they're going through, because we've been there. We've been on the national stage with the national championship and also been on the world stage being in the NFL. So we understand the ups and downs the pressures to perform, the community activity, the people, the circumstances surrounding being a high-profile athlete. So we could tell them some things to be aware of, and probably could help some of them. We can't save them all, Chris, but we can help someone. We know we can help somebody with our inspiration and with our testimony.
Bob, questions for Sherman?
Sherman, it's always great to have you on, just because of what you did on the field and what you're doing off the field. And I'll get to the off-the-field stuff, maybe my last question. But I wanted to revisit your days at Alabama. You know, Sherman, I always thought Gene Stallings was kind of an underrated coach and had a lot of pressure on him, because when anybody taking over for Bear Bryant, it's almost a non-winning situation. But my goodness, I think in your 4 years there, you went 45-4. You won it all. You did so much good things. Talk to us about Coach Stallings and what he meant to you.
Well, Coach Stallings was a great coach. Had a great philosophy of the sport of football. Great teacher, but better than yet, he was a great man, a people's person, very approachable. You know, if you had any issues, Coach Stallings was always there to help you out. He was a player's coach. Everyone in our organization really wanted to fight hard for Coach Stallings. He commanded the locker room, great leader. And he also wrote in the book, The Crimson Cowboy Volume 1. He also wrote in that, and he shared some of his insight, some of his light, and some of his opinions about the book, inside the book. So it was a great thing playing under Coach Stallings. And I took a lot from that time period in my life and became a better person for playing at the University of Alabama and being under Coach Stallings' leadership. So I think that it was a great experience, and we were able to capture a national title, so that just was icing on the cake. But Coach Stallings probably is one of the most underrated coaches that probably coached during that era.
I agree. And Sherman, you might have been short in stature, but you were a very, very strong man. I was wondering, I mean, you did a lot of work in the weight room, obviously, and you could run like a deer. I mean, how did you split your workouts back in the day, both at the college and the pro level, Sherman, as far as working on both your speed and the weights?
Well, training comes in a lot of different ways. And, you know, you have to get prepared for the speed of the game. You know, the speed of the game is pretty much the difference between high school, even going to junior high school to high school, and going to the college ranks and then going over to the NFL. You have to adjust to the speed of the game, because that's the greatest difference that I tell everyone that is trying to make it to the next level. You're going to have to play faster, think faster. You're going to have to be on your toes. But conditioning is very important as well, because it's a brutal sport. Football is a brutal sport. We know that when we sign up for it, it's a brutal sport, and it's going to be a thing of physicality that is going to determine your longevity. So being able to overcome injuries and pain and that type of thing is very important, but you got to have the speed of recovery, the speed to outrun, the speed to compete. So speed was a great focus for myself personally, going from level to level, just trying to build that speed.
Sherman, I wanted to get your thoughts going back to the national championship game this past January between Alabama and Georgia. You know, did you have faith throughout the game that Alabama, would come back and win it, or were you getting nervous?
Well, a game like that, national championship game, you're going to have a sense of butterflies. You're going to go into the game with two top-ranked teams, number one, number two, the best two teams, anybody ball game, two well-coached programs, Coach Saban, Kirby Smart, both are great guys, great individuals, great leaders. And it came down to the plays being made on the field. That's what it came down to. It was a great coaching decision by Coach Saban and his staff to switch quarterbacks at the proper time. And I just think that the plays was made. Alabama had the chance, Georgia had the chance, and it just came down to the playmakers. And Alabama was able to come out, but I was nervous the whole time until the time ran off the clock. So I tell everyone right now, my favorite part of the game is when the clock read 0 and we was winning.
No doubt. So when you look ahead to next season, do you think there's going to be a quarterback controversy between Jalen Hurts and Tal Tagliavello?
Well, I don't think it'll be a controversy because I think those are two great young men that really team. They really team before their personal interests, and that's what's going to be the difference. I don't think it'll be a controversy. I think that if Jalen gets the start, I think Tua Tagovailoa will support him, and I think that if Tua Tagovailoa get to be the starter, I think that Jalen would support him. I don't think see that it'll be a controversial situation, but I hope that we have a successful season and both guys come out without injury and, may the best man win. And that's just the competition of sports, and that's just what it is. And everyone understands that. If you're involved in sports or been involved in sports at any part of your life, you understand this competition.
And Sherman, you were a part of a national championship team. We've talked about that, in your intro and a little bit throughout this conversation. But you brought a national championship back to Tuscaloosa in 1992, the first one that Alabama had since 1979. What was it like bringing back a national championship and winning that and coming back on campus?
Well, you had a historically football program that's traditionally known for winning. What Coach Bryant brought into the organization, the championship tradition. We wanted to pick that up. I'm born and raised in Alabama. I'm an Alabama Southern country boy. So football is king in Alabama. And, winning the national championship was the goal. We went out and recruited and got the players and Coach Stallings and the staff. And, we had a great staff at Alabama. There's some good coaches. That's part of the Clemson coaching staff right now. We also had a teammate of mine was Dabo Sweeney, who's also at the head coach at Clemson right now. So we had a great group. We had a great cast. We had great players. It was just a good situation to be in.
Bob, one more for Sherman before we let him go.
Yeah, I just want to revisit the motivational speaking, Sherman. We talk to guys like Tony Collins, our good friend, and Tim Worley, and I can go on and on about guys who have lent their time in order to better the youth of today. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but every one of these guys, Sherman, has said what they've done as far as talking to kids, saving the lives of kids, or making kids make the best choices. That trumps anything they've done on the football player, and it's even better than a Super Bowl ring. What's your opinion about that?
I would definitely say, we was put here on earth for a purpose, and when you find that purpose, you really understand what life is all about. Sports is fine. It's a way to pass time. It's a big business now. But when you're able to encourage someone who may be going through a rough time, or you see a smile on a child's face that probably was having a bad time, are you able to be that person that they look forward to, being that role model in their life to where they come and feel comfortable asking you the proper questions? There's no other greater feeling that you would like to have. Even winning the Super Bowl, going to visit the White House, even my ups and also my downs. Just even being able to influence someone else in a positive way, that's the best feeling that you can have as an individual.
Again, the books are titled Crimson Cowboy, Rise and Fall of a Three-Time Champion, and Peace Between the Lines are available on Amazon.com or on Sherman's website, CrimsonCowboy.com. Sherman, let our listeners know where you're going to be so they can get a copy of the book and get it signed while they're there.
Well, that's like you said, people can always go, just like the title of the book is Crimson Cowboy, Crimson like Crimson Tide, Cowboy like Dallas Cowboys, and .com. You can find my schedule, my calendar. Follow us if you like to do Instagram or Twitter, Crimson Cowboy 20 or Crimson Cowboy on Instagram. You can also visit our website at palmerwilliamsgroup.org.
Sherman, thank you so much for taking time out of your night to come back and be a part of the show. It was great catching up with you. We hope you'll come back and join us again soon, share more of your stories and insights with us because you're one of our favorites. We appreciate it.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate y'all guys having me. I look forward to coming up with football season and having another chance to talk to you.
Anytime,
thank you, Sherman. Take care, my friend. All the best to you and your family.
Okay, thanks again.
Good night.
That is former Alabama and Dallas Cowboys running back Sherman Williams. And Bob, it is, and to your point that you were making when Sherman was on the line, right? With guys like Tony and Tim Worley and EJ Jr. and Sherman Williams, guys out there that have had some experiences. They learned their lessons about that sort of thing. Sharing those lessons now with kids, and whether it's little kids in school, elementary school, high school, or older kids in college, and obviously hoping these guys can get themselves in front of the rookie symposium, because the stories that they share and the works that they do now are just amazing, and hopefully that message is getting out and getting to these kids, because it's just vitally important. They're great stuff.
Yeah, they're heroes to me, Chris. I mean, guys like Tony and Sherman and Tim, they won't want to be known as heroes because of their past indiscretions, but what they're doing right now is heroic in nature, and what they continue to do is, again, it'll trump anything they've ever done on a football field, and every guy says the same thing. It's great.
All right, we've got our next guest, Tony Collins, hanging on the line. We're going to get to Tony after this quick station break.